Hello, my name is Peyton, and today I will be talking about why people should get vaccines. Here are my note cards. Now, sickness and disease have been around since the very start of civilization. People may not have understood it. They may have thought it was an angry god, an angry deity, punishing them for something they did wrong, or, that sort of thing. But they would make elixirs to try and achieve this immunity as well. They would try and do anything they could to, outrun it, escape it, stuff like that, because they didn't truly know what was going on. But in the 1500s, people started intentionally exposing themselves to, smallpox. It was called regulation, and then soon after that, 2 centuries later, in the 1700s, an English physician actually developed the first smallpox vaccine. Now, many, if not all of us, have either received or know someone who has received a vaccine of some kind. From the time you're born into adulthood, you have a scheduled set of when you would receive a vaccine, various vaccines, like hepatitis, measles, mumps, stuff like that. And after interacting with my patients, young and old, I've discovered the silent but very significant impact on the public's health and their health. Now I'm going to tell you why you, your relatives, and your peers should get vaccinated and how their health and the people around them will be affected and benefited. Now let's talk about how they work. A vaccine can be injected, most of the time it is. It could be active or inactive. Active meaning it has a very weakened portion of a pathogen in it, and then inactive being it's dead. Now, people are apprehensive about vaccines in the way that they may think they contract the certain pathogen that they are getting immunized for, like the flu. Which is really not the case. It's actually the opposite. You having a fever, a rash, just not feeling good for a couple days is actually your body telling you that the vaccine is working. Your body sees that these little pieces of virus are there and they think you're being attacked, that you are infected, and so they give you an immune response and give you antibodies in reaction to this vaccine. So that's how usually it works. Now that we know how they work, let's look at why the public should receive them. That brings me into herd immunity. Herd immunity, as the Cleveland Clinic says, is immunity in getting vaccinated to the point where people become immune, and many people are vaccinated and they're immune to the point where no one contracts the disease and doesn't get moved around from person to person, and it eventually protects the people who are unvaccinated. Now, disease once posed a threat to the more delicate, like children, the elderly, the immunocompromised. Like back in the day, 5% of children died from the measles. And there is sort of a difference between getting a one-dose vaccine like the measles and one yearly like influenza. The difference is, like the flu, it has multiple versions. It mutates so much that each year you have to get an updated vaccine because it fluctuates. Now, when we're first born, or when we get a little bit older, or for those who are immunocompromised just throughout life, either your immune system is underdeveloped or it's weakened and such like that. Now, I've discussed the important role of immunization in herd immunity and how, staying up to date on which vaccines are needed, type of influenza, stuff like that, what you need to vaccinate yourself with, can help you with your loved one's health. It can help you protect your community, and how active and inactive vaccines work, what their symptoms mean. It means it's working. Now, who are we protecting? You're protecting your relatives, you're protecting your peers, you're protecting your neighbors. I, myself, make sure to get vaccinated for my patients, but as well as my sibling. Their name is Cassie. They're my twin. They're my twin. And they have an autoimmune disease. They have always had it, but we really found out in high school. They were having allergic reactions to stuff they had never even been allergic to, like ants, corn, stuff like that. They had never ever had a problem with it, but they stay sick, for a better words. If anyone has a sniffle or like a cold or the flu in the house, they always catch it, and it's more severe for them. And my grandmother actually recently passed away from pneumococcal pneumonia. She went to the hospital for something different. She wasn't vaccinated for it, and she passed away. So that just goes to prove to you that it does make an impact on you and your family's health. Now that I've discussed and informed y'all about the benefits and maybe risks associated with vaccines, I want you to rethink your reluctance. I want you to look at your children, your brothers, sisters, grandparents. Look at them and remember who you're protecting.